Welcome back, everyone. So, I've been asked if I would do a video covering the early years of Lori Vallow, Daybill, Cox, Ryan. How many last names does this lady have? I have no idea. It's just probably at least a couple more out there. So, during my research, along with Summer Bend, who used to be a YouTube creator but has kind of gone on to do radio and an online podcast. So that's who she is. And Samantha has been helping me out greatly with this because she has access to the genealogical records that I can't get a hold of because I'm not Mormon. And even though some people can pay to access their site, there are records that are not online that she can gain access to. And so she's been a terrific help in this video and in this series. So for all those who don't want to believe anything that we have to say, again, take us to court. I'll prove every damn part of this in a court of law. All right. So first, let's take a look at the family. Who are Lori's parents? Let's get to the first part of my page here. Lori's father is Barry Lynn Cox. He is currently age 79, 79 years young. Her mother is Janice Lee Connor Cox. She is 77. She just turned 77 not too long ago, shortly right around the time that Lori was arrested, I believe, and extradited back to Idaho. So not a great birthday present for her. Lori has four siblings, and Lori being the one of the five. So there are five total siblings. Adam Cox, who has been a writer, a radio DJ personality, and all kinds of other things, that Adam has been over the years. But we're not going to get into the professions of each one of their siblings. Then there's Alex. His full name is actually Alexander Lamar Cox. And he has been just about everything over the years, caretaker to family members, not just his sister who passed, but we'll get into that. But he's also been there for a lot of family members when they were down or they needed to move. He has been one of the most stable individuals in his entire family. Yes, the same Alex Cox who would eventually go on and kill, Charles Vallow. Then there was Stacy L. Cox and Cox Cope. She passed away in, let's see here, what year did she pass away? She passed away in 1998. And she'll come back up in the story in just a minute. Then there is Lori's sister, Summer, as in, summer, fall, winter, autumn, Summer, Summer, Summer. Cox, no middle initial listed on any of the databases or census records that we have been able to find so far. And then, of course, we all know who Lori Cox is. Now, her sister, Stacy. Stacy had health issues on and off again pretty much her entire 20 some years of existence on this earth. She was born, and according to a family friend, and this friend speaks to me and Samantha off the record, but Stacy she wasn't a very healthy baby. She always had issues. She caught colds a lot. She got the flu a lot. Plus she had other health issues on top of it. And Stacy would eventually, get through that part, of her life and move on. And then she married, and all we have is his first name, which we haven't been able to confirm. So we're going to call him Mr. Cope. Her and Mr. Cope would eventually get married, and they moved out, and they had one daughter. That daughter plays a pivotal role in the Lori Cox, Daybell Vallow story here. That is her niece, Melania Brudeau, formerly now Melania Pawlowski. But how does that play into the story? Well, she's the one that moved from Arizona up to Idaho with her. Plus, she's the one that was going through the bitter divorce with Brandon Brudeau, who said he was shot at by somebody driving Charles Vallow's car. So that is the same person. That is her sister, Stacy L. Cox Cope. That is her only biological child that we have been able to figure out so far using genealogical records. There may be other ones out there, they just aren't all in the database, but we haven't found any other siblings of hers yet. So of the five siblings, Lori, Summer, Stacy, Alexander, and Adam, Lori and Summer were the only two who were born in the same city or same address. They both have the address in San Bernardino, California, listed on their birth records. Alexander was born in Gilbert, Arizona, and Adam is listed in a completely different, he's listed as Chandler, Arizona. So, and there is nothing listed for Stacy at all as location or state on her death records, her obituary, anything we've been able to find so far. If you can find it, great, good for you. We haven't been able to find it in even in the Mormon, catalog of backlog of census information. We have no information on where she was actually born, but there might be somebody out there who has actual documentation on it. We don't, so we're not talking about it. Okay. Again, Stacy Lynn Cox, Cope Cox, was born June 17th, 1966, and passed away May 21st, 1998. Now, that was the only 22 years of age. There was another sibling, Laura Lee Cox, but she only lived until she was 6 weeks old. Unfortunately, baby Laura died of what is probably now would be considered SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. I don't know that for a fact. It doesn't list a cause of death, but that she was only 6 weeks old. So where are Barry and Janice today? Well, they do own a home in Rialto, Rialto, California. They have lived in Loma Linda, California, but the home in Rialto, California is still owned by them, but do they live there at the age of 79 and 77? They could be in an adult living facility and still own their home, which we can't find a note on. So the house may have paid off their mortgage by this point. But it also should be noted that Barry and his wife Janice were sued for back taxes in 1989. That they did finally settle that up and paid those back taxes. I know this is skipping around. We're going to go back to Lori's niece now. Lori's niece, Melania Brudeau. For in order to get the FBI off of her ass and to show good faith for the Dateline and for other upcoming TV specials that are out there, that and people who want to pay her to talk on camera, she turned over her laptop, two cell phones with Verizon, was a carrier, and her home PC for them to search, because Brandon had made accusations that she knew where Tylee and JJ were, and she said, "No, I don't know where they're at." And to try to prove that, she turned this stuff over to the FBI, which I believe she has now since received back. And she got that back just before she remarried and became Melania Pawlowski. All right. Next question that I have received several times is, what was Lori like as a teenager and young adult? Very little is known about her at that time. We have found a couple of friends who were willing to speak off the record because of the sheer fact that they don't want the national news media pounding them and coming and knocking on their door. You wouldn't want it. I certainly wouldn't want it. So just imagine if you knew someone as a teenager and then 30 years later, someone come knocking on your door because they want to talk to you about someone you knew 30 years ago. What? I've known a lot of people in my life. Somebody I met 30 years ago? How the hell am I supposed to give you anything of value here? But that's what they want. They want that shock and awe when they knock on your door, at 3 in the afternoon. So, what was she like? The friends who spoke to us off the record said that she was a lovable, kind-hearted teenager who had ambitions to possibly go into broadcast journalism, or she wanted to study law. As far as did she go to college or not to study either one of those two areas, neither one of the two friends that we spoke with were sure that she ever went away to college to study either one of those two fields. She said that Lori was always devout in her religious beliefs and that she went on to try to help other people into her community, and that helping their community was something that was always instilled in all five of Barry and Janice's children, not only to help within their church, but to help through social volunteering like through nonprofit organizations. I'm paraphrasing there, so that's not an exact quote of how she put it. All right. So that is who her parents are. Are they alive? Where and what was she like as a teenager and now? Does Barry and Janice have the ability to bail Lori out of jail, put up $1 million worth of collateral? According to the county records, there where that home is still owned by Barry and Janice, their home is worth about $425,000, according to the county assessor's office. No, even if they got full 100% value, which you never do. So if you own a home that the county says is worth 400,000, you might get 360, 370 for it if you're lucky. But they don't have enough equity and enough value there to get them out. Why haven't they been in the news? I don't know, probably the same reason why, a lot of parents of people who go off the rails don't come out into the media and talk to the media about, their family. You know, Lori's son has been he was on part of the Dateline. He has publicly said, to his mom, just tell people where Tylee and JJ are. Her friends have asked her. Her church has asked her. Everybody has come out and said, just tell them where the damn kids are so people will leave you alone, leave their family alone. But she doesn't care. That is the point you need to understand is Lori and Chad are working together as a couple, and they are putting up a united front, and they are doing and acting as a one unit. He won't say anything about her, she won't say anything about him, and they are pressing this to the T. I mean, what are they hoping to get out of it? Nobody knows what their ultimate real goal is in this and what they plan to happen with their children and everything else. If Laura's convicted of it, she's just going to go away for a long time. And she certainly, if she's convicted, she's never going to tell anybody where Tylee and JJ are or what happened to them. So, there's a fine line between what the state can prove and what they can't prove, and how she's, and what she's going to do. If they are able to prove that she did neglect, her children and abandon them. I mean, this story just gets crazier and crazier as it goes along. Every single one of these siblings of hers you look into, there has been an issue somewhere with barely skating by on the edge of the law. A little bit this way, it would have been, a felony. A little bit that way, they'd been better off. But they skated right by on the edge. Every one of them. Adam, Alex, Stacy, Lori, Summer. The only one who's innocent in all this is Laura Lee, who died at the age of 6. And mom and dad didn't pay their taxes at one point and got sued by the government. to collect their taxes. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the background that you all had asked for. If you have another additional question, put it in the comment section down below, and me and Samantha will look into it as much as we possibly can. If we can verify it, we will answer it in the next video about Lori. Until then, everyone, stay safe out there. Keep your spirits up. These are definitely strange times that we're all living through. And the only way we're going to get through is if we do it together, not divided. Stay safe.